Baik.
Baik. Can you hear me, Tony?
Yeah, loud and clear.
So we're starting now.
We're back. After 3 years, we're finally able to have a winter dinner again, and it's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to welcome everyone. We actually had a lockdown 2 years ago, and we got within 8 days of sort of having our winter dinner, and we got locked down again last year. But this year, it's all systems go. So give yourself a big hand for that. Well done. We're here at last. It's customary now to do things that 20 years ago were never done. And culture changes and things change. Traditions evolve, and the world's an interesting place. So I start off tonight by acknowledging that we are holding our dinner here on the land of the Ngunnawal people, who were the first settlers in this area. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and future, and their people. I would like to add, and I hope it'll become a custom in the future as we continue to evolve our traditions, that I also acknowledge and pay respect to every single person who's come and helped make Australia a great place. So thank you very much. I'm going to have to wait to offer a very warm welcome to the Ambassador because he's not here yet, but he will be in a few minutes, I am sure, and so I will formally welcome him when he arrives. But I want to acknowledge the other people that have come along tonight, and it's really a wonderful gathering. I welcome the Deputy Head of the Mission of the Indonesian Embassy, Pak Sharif Halitas, and his lovely wife, Ibu Mira. And their 2 children are here as well. And we thank you very much for joining us for this important evening. I also offer a very big welcome to a person who played a very big part in the role of getting the relationship right between Australia and Indonesia. And that was our ambassador in Indonesia, Bill Farmer, and his wife Elena Hirman. Bill, please stand up. Thank you very much for all your great service to the country and to the 2 nations. I want to make a special mention of a dedicated historian of early Indonesia-Australia relationships, and that's Anthony Liam and his wife Helen, who've come down from Sydney to join us. Anthony, please stand up and thank you. And if you look across at the side, the amount of effort that Australia gave is very much misunderstood and not even known by our current generations. The work that we did to help Indonesia establish its independence, representing it in the UN. We just did so many things, and if you read the Black Armada, and the sheets are up there, you'll actually pick up an understanding of how deep and important that relationship is between the 2 countries. So I do thank you, Anthony, for bringing that down, and welcome you here. I think we're very fortunate to have a great range of members of the Indonesian diaspora, and if I miss anyone, I do apologise, but I'd just like to make a very quick thank you to a whole range of people. First of all, the ACT Chair of the Balai Bahasa Indonesia, Heath McMichael, and all the Indonesian language teachers here tonight. Thank you. The ACT Chair of the Australia-Indonesian Youth Association, Emily McNaught. Is Emily here now? She wasn't earlier. No, she's still not here. Okay, but there's a table of Australian-Indonesian youth here, which is great. The Australian-Indonesian Muslim Friendship, ACT, led by Pak Marputin and Pak Iman, and their members are here tonight. Thank you very much. The ACT Chair of the PMKOC, the Persekutuan Masyarakat Kristen Indonesia di Canberra, in English known as Indonesian Christian Fellowship in Canberra, and we have a new head just taking over, but just the Siwa Bessie has been up until now. And we now have His Excellency arriving. Please stand up and give him a very warm welcome. His Excellency Dr. Francisco Ramon. And Ibu Dr. Marisa Ramono. Please be seated, thank you. Your Excellency, we've just been going through the introductions and
I spent 8 years studying in Australia at the ANU and then Melbourne Monash University at the ANU again. And now I've been 8 months, so 8 years as student, but 8 months as an ambassador. So I'm quite new here. So my first job is to convince everyone that I am an ambassador. And that's not yeah, but Australia is a very lovely country. Why I spend time to study in Australia? Well, all of my friends actually did not. I went to Japan, studied master's degree, and then went to school or Europe or United States. I went down under because of one movie, Flying Buttons. I would like to see the outback. This is what outback look like. So the first place that I visit is Colorado and then hinterland of Australia. It's very interesting. Yeah. Now, I would like to convey my appreciation to Australia-Indonesia Association. I learned it from the website, and this is among the oldest, longest institution in Australia, promoting the ties between the two great nations, Indonesia and Australia. And start from 1945, period, 1945. And I have met and wife because we also celebrating 77th anniversary last week at the embassy. And going back to the history, 1945. This year we also celebrate in Melbourne the Black Armada, and then the first. I think this is the first partnership. Partnership is not just recently when we trust Australia to help us in the course of independence. Black Armada, when the Australian workers, the laborers union at the time refused to help the Dutch vessel heading toward Indonesia for the first and second aggression. And I also remember, not remember because it's far before my time, but I learned from history on the Komisi Tiga Negara, the commission of 3 countries, we call it Commission of Goodwill, in which Indonesia chose Australia to represent Indonesia interests during negotiation with the Dutch after the first aggression. So there's so much history between the two, and I just realized in Kora, it's only 2 hours drive from here, there is also a cemetery from Indonesian and exile. My deputy, Pak Syarif, already there. Yeah. So there are a lot of history between the two countries, it's very interesting. And also learn there's so much productive programs, very active programs conducted by Australia-Indonesia Association. Among others, is quite recent, is to have teachers in Indonesia working together with also with Association of Nusa Tenggara. Yeah. A couple of months ago, we have also dinner with them. Thank you very much for that. I think developing Indonesia's young people, improving the capacity building is very, very important. Now, But Les already told us that this dinner is supposed to be 2 years ago. Because of the COVID, we canceled it until today. All the food is fresh, not from 2 years ago. But I'm not sure about the rendang. Rendang can stand for 2 years. But I believe the rendang is also very fresh. Yeah. So thank you very much for that. And I also learned that you also strive a lot with the Indonesian study, Bahasa Indonesia. Bahasa Indonesia is very important. I know Pak Hit also running a program on the Indonesian movies. I think it's also very interesting. There's a challenge now that Indonesia study, Bahasa Indonesia study in Australia is declining. But there's also opportunity now because Pak Albanese, I accompanied him to Jakarta. I took accompany him like riding bicycle. But he promised to help to boost more Indonesian study, Bahasa Indonesia in Australia. So that's the challenge. Why Bahasa Indonesia is important? I think it's also important for Australia because for one reason, now we have the rise of Asia. That everything shifts toward Asia and Oceania. Talking about business, talking about education, investment. So if we learn more Bahasa, it will be easier for doing business, not only with Indonesia but the rest of the region as well. Yeah, because Bahasa menunjukkan budaya bangsa, the Bahasa is actually the key to understand the culture. But more than that, it's also very important if you see the demographics. Indonesia is really developing very fast, not only in terms of the economy, but also population. Yeah. And we have demographic bonus, more young people. Between 10 to 40, this is our demographic bonus. And we have a surplus of girls, 5 million. So for the boys here, I think this is good news. Also for the mothers that would like to have daughter-in-law from Indonesia, learn Bahasa Indonesia.
I've done my bit.
I remember in one television show, there was a young tourist from Australia who was to show that I can speak Bahasa. And then for interview with the PTR, the Indonesian television. And the reporter asked him like, apa kesan Anda terhadap Indonesian food? Oh, makanan Indonesia sedap. What do you think about Indonesian people? Gadis Indonesia sedap. Because sometimes it's difficult to learn bahasa. Sedap can be nice, but it can be also delicious. So Indonesian girl is delicious. Yeah, Borobudur girl is also delicious. Yeah, but actually when I was very young, I know what is the difference between nice girls and delicious girls. When I was 12, I learned that most of Indonesian girls are spicy. Most Indonesian boys are oily. That is when you see people from the window of your kitchen. Oily, spicy. Exactly like the food we have today. I think it's very, very spicy, also very nice. Yeah. We have Indo Cafe with all the spicy food. Yeah. So we are now striving more on the culinary diplomacy. Yeah. We are competing very hard with the Vietnamese food, Thailandese food, with Malaysian food. Yeah. So learning Indonesian culture is not only bahasa but also culinaries is very, very important. So I would like to encourage everyone to start inviting neighbors with Indonesian culinaries. That's a good way of promotion. And in Indonesia we call it masakan rumahan, yeah. housing culinary. It's very nice. So one day if I pass a suburb like all the Australian like overweight, big fat, I must be big, understand Indonesian culinaries. Yeah. But if they are skinny, oh the Indonesians are doing a good job here because they don't promote Indonesian food. Now. One last point is that on the progress between Indonesia and Australian ties now, we are now the head of the chair of the G20, but also B20. So 2 weeks ago, we ran a very big roadshow in Australia. We call it the B20 roadshow. So we did in Canberra, Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth. Introducing all Indonesia products, from automotive until minyak kayu putih and tolak angin, yeah, and all the Indonesian ingredients and everything. Yeah. So the ties between the two countries is so excellent, actually. Even during the conflict, the total trade between Indonesia and Australia has been rising by 80%. Yeah. But of course, our deficit is a bit, the gap is a bit higher now. Our export to Australia is rising, but our import is rising faster than our export. But this is quite normal because everyone eats Indomie. This is the big problem. And there's a war in Ukraine, and 80% of exportation of wheat from Ukraine is going to Indonesia for our Indomie. So we don't have much option now. We imported more wheat from Australia. But Australian wheat is a bit more expensive. So now don't be complaining when you get Indonesia that Indomie is also a bit expensive. But no, so far it's fine. But we are happy with the Australian wheat, also the Australian beef. We also imported a lot of beef. So actually to leverage the increasing import from Australia of beef, wheat and so on, we try to export more for products like automotive. Yeah. So we export a car to Australia, nice car, it's like Lexus. This one is actually Japanese Toyota. What's the brand for Toyota? Fortuner, yeah. Fortuner is a nice car, but 75% is actually localized, local contacts from Indonesia. So it's good. Now, this morning I just attend the other very interesting thing is on the electric car. So Australia has a plan from 2024, 10% of Australian car will be electric car. So this opens up a new opportunity for Indonesia and Australia to have joint production on the battery because we have lithium, we have nickels, so a lot of prospects for joint production on battery between Indonesia and Australia to support our electric car in Indonesia. So green energy is very important, green production is also very important. Emission must be reduced. So we have very strong cooperation with Australia actually on energy transition. And starting this year, we start producing our electric motorcycle in Indonesia. This is good because everyone, we ride motorcycle in Indonesia. So the first 1 million production is this year. And then our target is for 13 million productions of motorcycle, electric motorcycle. Then the problem will be on the battery. Now, you can imagine 13 million battery needed, but what happens with the battery is during pollution? If you don't have a recycling system, it will be disaster for the environment. So we are working together with Australia on that, especially for the recycling of the battery. And that's why I accompany my minister go to CSIRO to see the technology of the battery recycling, and this is so very, very important. Now, aside from that, Indonesia is very rich with river, and here you have Morogo River, but we have Mahakam, it's much bigger than Morogo. And Australia is pretty much interested in start purchasing the green hydrogen in our river. And this is very important, like 15 million green hydrogen for the world, and it will be produced in Southeast Asia. It can be in Indonesia or in Myanmar and others. And this will be very important because if you produce things with green energy, it will be considered as a green product. And this will be the trend of the world. So there is so much cooperation actually between Australia and Indonesia, especially on the three priorities. The first one is on transition of energy. We are talking about green hydrogen and so on. Number two is on public health. Public health is very important, and we are preparing now the groundbreaking of Aspen Medical, investing 1 billion in Indonesia for 23 hospitals and 650 clinics all over Indonesia, started West Java. This is also very, very important for both sides because if you invested in 650 clinics, you need nurses. Nurses will be trained in Indonesia with Australian standard, and they can work in Indonesia and hopefully in Australia as well, because you need more labor, more skilled, educated labor. So number two. Number three is on digital transformation. This is very important that we, unless you're working on that as well. Digital transformation is good for e-commerce, it will be good also for e-governance and so on. And Indonesia is, young people in Indonesia is very savvy. They pretty much engage in IT technology and so on. So the first unicorn of Indonesia is Bukalapak. They already have a technological hub in Melbourne, and soon is going to open the other one in Sydney. So a lot of things going on in the two countries. And it's not only about the past, which is very important, but also about the future, because we are talking about not only millennial generation, but also this generation. But the bridge will be on Bahasa. We speak Australian, I mind and stuff like that. And it's better if Australians also speak Bahasa. With that, I would like to praise against all the contribution from the Australia-Indonesia Association to help us on promoting Indonesian study, Bahasa Indonesia, and help us to work that direction. So I have to stop here. Thank you very much, and good luck with all of the program in the year to come. Thank you.
Instrument, traditional instrument from Indonesia, actually from the West Java. Yeah, I very will give you to the technical. So we call these things is angklung. How to play it? You don't need to very, you just only need to shake it. How to shake it? Like this, like this. Yeah. Thank you. So to play it, you only need to shake it. The first time, you need to put your left hand in the middle like this. Oh, you see this? And make it hanging. The longer one is on your right. Okay, and the left one is for your the single one, the little one. Okay, like this, and put your right hand on the bottom like this. Easy. And shake with your right hand, left and right. Good, excellent. Okay, like this. Okay, you can shake your body too. Thank you. Okay, and then each angklung have a number. Can you see the number? There's number 7. Yeah, good. I have number 7 here. Okay, I will call the angklung number one by one, and please shake your angklung, okay? Angklung number 1. Good. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 with the dot on the top. Excellent. Bagus. Okay. Yeah.
Pakistan. Pakistan.
Actually, I have this song, and it's often we play this song, but I never brought because this is the special song for you. Okay, there is a number here. When I point the number, please shake your angklung. Okay, shake your angklung with number 3. Example, number 3. Good. Yes. Do you know what song is here? Not yet. Okay. Let's go to the reverence. 1, 2, 3, 4. Together. Yes. Excellent. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So actually, angklung in Indonesia is very popular in the education. We use for to make our student have like a sense of togetherness. Okay, and then okay, I have a sound -1 in my computer. Can you please, Mr. Raghu? Thank you. Let's combine with the beautiful uncle. Feel the beat, okay? I need number 3 to start the song. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I have another song here.
Yeah.
I know what song is it. I love this song. Let's find out what song is it. I need number one to start this song. Who's number one? Good. 1, 2, 3. Reference. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. I also have the -1 too. That's fine too. Let's get to make it together. One, two, three, 4. Terima kasih, semoga Anda menikmati. Good night.
Amazing. So, congratulations.
last time.
Congratulations. Now you guys can put on your LinkedIn that
you moved to
can play
different
outside and post about it.
I have your number.
AIA, we come up with a new scheme now. And anyway, now
You like
we
it?
have another performance.
Maju lagi Joyce. Maju lagi, maju lagi. Biar di belakang bisa ikut.
Ke kiri,